what Google and Yahoo did, right, when they came up with Hadoop and MapReduce, this was sort of their way of being able to crawl the web and search in a very fast manner. So, this enables a lot of structured, semi-structured, unstructured data to be brought into a file system and be able to sort of divide and conquer and divide this data across nodes and run what we would call as, say, queries or MapReduce jobs across this cluster and pull information based on the questions or the queries that are being issued, and then aggregate that and present it back to the user. So it enables data to be divided, to be able to run queries in parallel so that answers to your questions can be returned faster. So Hadoop and MapReduce are not like new concepts, if you may. Databases have been doing this work of divide and conquer inside the database for forever, right? It's now that that divide and conquer is happening outside the database, right? So what Hadoop and MapReduce have done is that they have pulled it outside the database, but the concept itself is not new, but certainly this thing happening outside the database is new, and I think what it is enabling is that it's really getting or enabling the customers to bring in a large volume of data pretty quickly, run it on commodity hardware, without really having to model, without really having to figure out the structure of this data, because in a lot of cases you don't know the structure of this data. So it makes it possible to analyze data quickly in an inexpensive manner without really understanding the structure. And also the way the data is stored, because it's a file system, so there's no transformation of data happening. So text is stored as text, video, images, they are stored in its native format, and the fidelity of the data is preserved. So there's no transformation happening. So you can have multiple applications or questions being asked of the same data, and you get the right answers because you haven't transformed the data in any manner. Right? If the transformation happens in a premature manner, at some point the transformation happens, right? Which is, in this case, generally with this technology, the transformation happens when you're rendering or presenting the data to the user, not when you're storing the data. Because if you transform it then you may get a wrong answer to a question, because now you have lost the context of the data or the fidelity of the data. So I think being able to preserve the fidelity of the data is a very important aspect of why this is an important piece of technology.